Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another new movie review. Today, we're going to be talking about Day of the Dead, Bloodline. Before I get into any of that, though, I want to say a quick thank you to my creepy patron peeps. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. If you want to find out all the awesome perks to being a creepy patron peep, you can follow that link in the description box. There will also be a link on the screen at the end of the video. So you may still remember my horror in 2018 video where comes up over here where I talked about Day of the Dead Bloodline, but I'll summarize it again for you guys. A small group of military personnel and survivalists dwell in an underground bunker and seek to find a cure in a world overrun by zombies. All right, so let's quickly get into what I liked about this. The gore effects were actually pretty cool. I feel like they really made an effort to make these zombies just really gross. I feel like there are just so many zombie movies out there now that there are definitely classifications of zombie, and I feel like one of those classifications is gross, where it's like not only are they gross in the fact that they eat humans and are like pulling intestines out and munching on them, but they're always like throwing up like bile looking stuff, you know what I mean? Like they're just gross. Like they really make it an effort to show like they're rotting from like the inside out because they're constantly just like spewing up all this nastiness, and I appreciated that. Now let's get into what I didn't like about this. So a lot, not all, but a lot of the performances were really bad. I mean, it starts off pretty early too. Like I'm looking at you guys, like students at that like medical school party or whatever. Like, oh my, it was so bad. Like, I don't know, the performances are just really bad. I feel like a lot of it did have to do with the very obvious voice dubbing. And I think that has to do with the fact that this is actually like considered like a Bulgarian horror movie, which I have not seen before, but I think maybe it probably might have to do with the fact that maybe some of the actors weren't native English speakers, maybe, so that's why they decided to dub the voices, so maybe like their lines came out clearer, but it's very obvious the voice dubbing, and I think that has a lot to do with the awkwardness of the performances, and the dialogue is super awkward and unnatural at times. Like I feel like a lot of the actors did the best they could with what they were given, but a lot of it was the writing. As far as all of the characters in the survivalist bunker, I feel like there were way too many of them to kind of like really get to know anybody, and most of them were super flat. Even Zoe, like the main character, I feel like they just rocket through the beginning of the movie and you have no time to get to know her at all. Even as the movie is progressing, you really don't ever learn anything new about her as the movie goes on. So it's like you kind of lose your motivation for watching the movie, like, because you don't, like, it gets to a certain point where it's like, okay, I'm not going to learn any more about this character, I guess, so I don't care about what happens to her. I don't care about her, her motivations, because I can't tell what they are. I don't know anything about her. Now, I know this is a new movie review and I don't usually spoil anything, but there are going to be mild spoilers. I'm not going to give away, really major plot points. And really, this is like a remake of the original Day of the Dead. So if you've seen that, this isn't a spoiler then. But in case anyone is super concerned about it, then just skip ahead a minute or two and you should be fine. So we have to talk about Bub. So I don't know about you all, but my favorite part of the original Day of the Dead is Bub. He is probably the most lovable zombie ever. Like he's kind of like, I don't know, I always just saw him as a puppy, even though he is a zombie. He's cute, it's like in the original Day of the Dead, it's kind of a logical progression to like a zombie apocalypse movie, because after the whole outbreak thing is over and the survivors have found a way to, you know, at least temporarily like sustain themselves in one location, it makes sense that scientists and doctors would want to be studying the zombies to try and understand how they work. So it does make sense, you know, in the original movie for the scientists and the doctors to try and study how the zombie's brain works. And that's how Bub gets to be the way he is and how he's kind of evolved as a zombie, if you will. It's due to training, essentially. And that reason is given and it makes sense. Bub in this remake has become Max, who is established at the beginning of the movie as this really creepy guy who keeps coming in to like give blood samples or something at the medical school that Zoe is studying at, and he's like scarily obsessed with her and like carves her name into his arm and stuff. And then so he tries to rape Zoe at the beginning of the movie, right when the zombie outbreak happens, and he gets bitten and she escapes, blah 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 blah. And then what's meant to be much later, she runs into him again, and he ends up being the Bub of the character of the movie. He ends up being the Bub of the movie, where he is very obviously different from the other zombies. Like he's still partially like cognizant, like he knows what's going on, and he recognizes Zoe and like follows her to the bunker, and he, you know, creates the main conflict of the movie. But it's just like there's no reason given as to why he's not gone full zombie after all this time. Like, so what, his crazy obsession with Zoe is what kept him going? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, you know, it's as if somebody blended George A. Romero's Day of the Dead and Warm Bodies or something. It just doesn't make any sense. And it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of stupid, you know? So it's like, so the whole reason why he's not fully zombie and he's kind of like trained or whatever is because of Zoe. So was Day of the Dead Bloodline worth it? No. No. I went on record in my Horror in 2018 video that I was not excited about this movie, and for good reason. I didn't like it. I would definitely avoid it if I were you. I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 3.4 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it doesn't have a critic score, but audiences give it a 21%. And on Roger Ebert, it has a 1.5 out of 4. Only place I saw this available to watch was YouTube. I was scared I wasn't gonna be able to watch it because I saw everybody like on social media watching it, and I was like, where's everyone seeing this movie? Because I know it has a limited theater release, or it's going to soon, I think. But wasn't playing anywhere near me. The only place I could find it was on YouTube to rent for $7, and I'm just telling you right now, it is definitely not worth $7. So if you've seen Day of the Dead Bloodline, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it. You can find me at all the normal social media places. The links for those are in the description box. You can also find me on my blog at nightmaremaven.com, at morbidlybeautiful.com as a contributing writer, and on patreon.com/nightmaremaven if you want to check that out and support the channel. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and become a Creepy Peep today. I post videos Monday through Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!